So the custom audience. Now, what's so amazing about Facebook ads is the variety of options, of tools that you can really use to optimize your campaigns on the highest level and reaching people that can be really cold, and by cold I mean haven't heard about you, and people that have bought from you already over $500, or people that have visited your website 5 times, or people that have visited your website once, or people that haven't visited your website in the last 60 days. Okay, the tools that you have with Facebook advertising is literally limitless, and they're adding things on a daily basis almost. Okay, new things, and it's not new to go into Facebook, into the ads manager, into the advertising platform, and then all of a sudden you have all of these new options. Now, I'm not saying custom audiences is something new. It's been around for a while, but it's one of the strongest tools out there. And that's in my opinion, this is one of the top 3 reasons why we use Facebook advertising, because of these custom audiences. Okay, so first of all, what are custom audiences? So custom audiences are very, very, very powerful. Okay, you're creating audiences from your past data, which can be basically emails, pixel fires, engagement on your post, video views, etc. And by past data, you're basically taking the customers that either bought from you or visited your website or engaged with your post or watched your video, and you're creating an audience from them. Okay, you're creating an audience from them, and then you can send out ads to that audience. So if I have a 10,000 email list, I can create an audience from that and then target them with a very specific offer that's relevant to them. So first things first, by the way, this window that you see on the right, you get to that by going to audiences and your ad manager, and then you have a button click to create a custom audience. Okay, there's a few options. So now option number 1 is customer file. So with customer file, you can create an audience from emails, phone numbers that you have, and then that basically creates just an audience out of the amount of phone numbers and emails that Facebook can correlate with basically the user. So if you add like 10,000 emails, not all the time it will give you 10,000 people. It will probably give you like 70%, sometimes more, sometimes less, depending if that email correlates with somebody on Facebook. Now, usually you would, if you have the data, you would rather create an audience from pixel fires, okay, which is website traffic, which we'll get to that next. Because with a customer file, the audience is static, okay, it's a static audience. What do I mean by static? It means that you create the audience, right, and then it doesn't update unless you update it manually. But with website traffic, with pixel fires or whatever, it updates automatically. So you create an audience and then just builds up the more pixel fires you have. You don't have to create it again. You just create it once and then it builds up. With customer file, it stays the same unless you update it with emails or phone numbers or any actual static data. And that's why I usually don't deal with customer files unless I don't have the data. You know, sometimes we're working with businesses where they didn't have a pixel installed, so we have to upload their email list. We have to use the data that we have. But when you have the pixel and when you have that data, it's always better to just use the website traffic. So what is website traffic? With website traffic, you basically create an audience from the pixel data, okay? Which means that if you have a pixel installed, that data is basically gathering up. You don't even have to create the audience. Like at first, as long as you have the pixel installed on your website, everything is created on the back end. Okay, then you need to create that actually to target it. But even if you like installed the pixel, like let's say 6 months ago, and you create this audience from website traffic now, it will take all that data from the last 6 months. So if 50,000 people visited your website in the last 6 months, and you create the audience from website traffic today, that audience will have 50,000 people, because it gathers the data the moment you have the pixel installed. So examples of what you can do with website traffic is you can create an audience of anyone that bought from you, anyone that visited your website, anyone that did action X but didn't do action Y. So anyone that bought this product but didn't buy this product, anybody that bought like a product but let's say you didn't upsell him, anybody that left you a lead and didn't buy the product, anybody that left you a lead on this landing page but didn't register to this webinar, and really the options are endless. Okay, anyone who hasn't visited your website in an X amount of time, and more and more and more. I strongly recommend you go check it out and just experiment with it a bit. So eventually I can't go over every single action. It's gonna take me days and days. So I strongly recommend you check it and see like what the possibilities are. It's really interesting. And this updates automatically. So you create the audience, and let's say anyone that bought from you. So you create the website traffic out of, let's say, the purchase pixel, okay, and then it just builds up alone. So every time somebody buys from you, that audience gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay. App activity, pretty self-explanatory. Okay. Anybody that uses your app, we don't deal with apps, so I'm not going to go into that. And probably a lot of you don't as well. Now, the last one is engagement on Facebook. Okay, so when you click that, a new window pops up, which is what kind of engagement. Okay, that's the window on the right. So when you click that, you have 4 options. You have video. So if you create a video audience, it basically create an audience from people that watch a certain percentage of, I don't like that S there. Let me erase that. There we go. So with video audiences, you can create an audience from people that basically watch a certain percentage of your video, anywhere from 3 seconds of your video to 95% of your video. Okay, you choose what to build. You can create an audience of all the people that watch at least 3 seconds of your video. You can create an audience of all the people that watched 50% of your video up to 95%. This is an amazing tool to create a warm audience. Okay, an audience of people that are already pretty, like they already know your product, know who you are, depending on what you're doing. And then you just target these people again. So I gave the example of me running a Facebook ad tutorial video just to people, and then that I have no call to action there. It's literally just teaching people about Facebook ads, and then I create an ad from that. I create an audience from the people that watched, and then I send them ads on my behalf, an ebook or a webinar or whatever. And because they've already seen me, they already know that I know what I'm talking about. They're going to be much more responsive to me than if I just targeted them without showing them the video. Okay, so extremely efficient for retargeting as well, and really a lot more. Lead ad is basically create audiences from people opening or converting on your lead ads. Okay, not website conversion lead ads, but actually the lead ads. Like I said, we don't really like to use this one because the leads are usually not as responsive as website conversion leads, and you don't really get the option to build your own landing page, just like this form. But you can, if you do that, you can create an audience actually from the people, not only from the people that left their email, but people that only opened it, right? So you can send an ad to all the people that opened it but didn't leave a lead, and asking them, why didn't you leave your email? Here's your last chance or whatever. And you have Canvas, which is, again, pretty self-explanatory. You create a list of people who have opened your Canvas ad on Facebook or Canvas post. Then you have the page. Okay, and when you open the page, you have, again, another list, which is you can create an audience of everyone who ever engaged with your page, anybody that liked a post or commented on your posts or shared your post or viewed your post or whatever. You can create an audience of all those people, which, again, is a very warm audience. Okay, you can create an audience of anyone who ever visited your page, anyone who ever went to your page and didn't even just like visited your page. You can create an audience of people who engaged with a certain post, people who clicked any call to action, people who sent a message, people who saved. Really amazing things. That experiment with this. Don't be afraid to experiment. This is why Facebook ads are there. This is why there's so many options to try different things, especially if you're the kind of business where you're doing a consulting or you're selling information products. Then this is really powerful. Now this is the difference basically between static audiences and dynamic custom audiences. Okay, which is basically static ones are the customer files, which we went over at the beginning. So that's anything that you have to update. You have to actually manually update them, add more users, add more emails, add more phone numbers. And then dynamic is all the other things where it just builds up dynamically. It builds up, it updates the more that action that you build the audience on happens without you basically needing to build a new audience. Okay, that just happens. So if you create an engagement on Facebook from people that viewed 50% of your video, and that audience has 3,000 people, and let's say in the next 2 weeks another 2,000 people watched the 50% of the video, then that audience will have 5,000 now because it just updates automatically. Okay, so that's the difference. We always go with dynamic unless we don't have the pixel data, so we'll go with static. Okay, remember that. And of course, good old lookalike audiences, which is the best thing that ever happened to Facebook ads since the pixel. Okay, the thing about the lookalike audiences is that this is really your way to scale your campaigns and to build your own unique audiences that are built from people that are relevant to you. Now again, LAAs, which are lookalike audiences, are dynamic. Okay, so it's like By dynamic, I mean it's if it works on the custom audience, so it's built out of the custom audience, which means if the custom audience updates, then the lookalike will update. If the custom audience doesn't update, then the lookalike won't update. So if you have a lookalike audience built out of a customer file, like if you have a lookalike audience that's built out of a custom audience that's built out of a customer file, if you don't keep updating that customer file and adding more emails and more users, that lookalike won't update. But if your lookalike is built out of a website traffic ad or a page website traffic audience or a page engagement audience, then the more that custom audience builds up, the more the lookalike audience builds up. Okay, the more the lookalike audience updates. And there's basically really two main uses with custom audiences. It's retargeting and lookalike audiences. Okay, these are the two main things with custom audiences, and we're gonna go really in depth on both of them. So I'll see you in the next video.